my name is Kat, and today I'm going to talk about the Luck series by Jennifer L Armentrout. So first up, I'm going to talk a little bit about the Luck series overall with no spoilers, and then I'm going to jump into a spoilery discussion section so I can spoilery discuss the final book. The Luck series consists of 5 books. Book 1 is Obsidian, Book 2 is Onyx, Book 3 is Opal, Book 4 is Origin, and Book 5 is Opposition. This month I've been working with Entangled Teen, and they sent me these beautiful sparkly bind-up editions, and these ones are my original copies that I bought myself last year. I actually also bought them all on Kindle as well, so let's just say I'm a fan of this series. Now, if you're completely unfamiliar with this series, the basic setup is that this teenage girl named Katie moves to a new house, and the people living next door just so happen to be aliens. And that's really all you need to know about the basic plot. Like, I'm sure you can imagine the romance and chaos that ensues from there. But let me tell you a little bit more about the qualities and aspects of this series. It's this awesome blend of paranormal romance and kick-ass action adventure. The dialogue is fantastic. These books are so sassy and funny and just pure entertainment. Now, it's not high quality literary prose. Like, I wouldn't describe the writing as beautiful, but I would describe it as very fun and accessible. The writing style makes Katie feel like such a real person. I really identified with her, especially because she is a book lover. Like, she has a book blog and she sometimes makes book videos. I feel like we would get along. And just the way she talks and thinks, like, she probably has a Tumblr too. I also love the world of the series. After the first book, I was a little iffy on it. The first book does kind of focus more on the characters and the romance than the world. And that was my biggest issue with that book. Like, I didn't quite buy into some of the aspects of the aliens living on Earth. However, Jennifer L Armentrout, it's like she knows exactly what we as readers want, and then she gives it to us. I wanted more world building, I got more world building. And that is what made me go from liking the series to loving the series. It is a paranormal romance, and we do focus quite a bit on the relationship, but we also focus quite a bit on this kick-ass adventure involving enemy alien races and the government, and it just gets so good. Speaking of the romance, I know that some people don't like too much romance with their action-adventure stories, but I do really like that. And specifically in this series, I really loved the romance. I loved how it evolved from book 1 to book 5. I loved how sassy Katie and Damon were to each other. And I loved how they really do love each other. Like, Katie and Damon are OTP status for sure. I love their love. I love it. BT dubs, I kind of fan casted Tyler Hoechlin as Damon and myself as Katie. So that was nice. Overall, I would give this series 5 out of 5 stars, and I'm pretty sure I gave each individual book a 5-star rating as well. Like, there might be a couple of 4.5s in there, but for the most part, I loved all the books. I love the series. It's fun and hilarious and romantic and awesome, and if you like paranormal romance and sci-fi action adventure, then I highly recommend you give this series a try. I think my favorite book in the series was probably Origin, book 4, but that is followed pretty closely by Opposition, book 5, because it was just such a nice conclusion to the series. And as much as I'm sad that this series is over, I am also very much looking forward to reading more by Jennifer L Armentrout. So yeah, that is gonna be it for the non-spoilery part of this video. I'm gonna start talking Opposition spoilers now, so if you have not read this entire series, now is time for you to leave. Please go. Don't get spoiled. Go read the series, then you can come back, but for now, bye. Okay, so this book, Holy crap! So first off, I just flew through this book. Like, I stayed up until 4 or 5 in the morning 2 nights in a row because I couldn't put it down. Like, at first I was so into it because I had to find out what was going on with Damon and the Luxon that had just arrived. Then, once Katy and Damon were, like, reunited and being held by the Luxon, I had to keep reading to find out how the hell they were gonna get themselves out of this mess. But the part that really hooked me was when Katy crashes the van as they're going to that press conference, and then the government showed up and got involved, and it just, from there, oh my god, it was such a fun ride. Right before the crash, that part where Katy discovers that Sadie is an origin and she starts imagining everyone twerking. I was reading that at like 3 in the morning, so I was already a little bit loopy, but that scene, I had to set the book down for a second because I was laughing so hard. I just love how throughout this whole series my expectations are consistently met, but not always in the way I think they're gonna be. Like, I'm getting all prepared for this press conference, and then bam! Press conference is off, government is here. And of course I was expecting the government to come back and get involved in all this, but not like that. And there are always things that I don't see coming, like the whole Katy and Damon are not actually connected twist. Just, what? That did kind of have me freaking out a little bit. Like, oh my god, is this the groundwork for one of them to die? Or is this just to add some tension? Like, to dangle that possibility of one of them dying over our heads so we worry a little bit. I mean, even though that possibility was there, like, I still kind of knew that neither of them were going to die. Like, Jennifer wouldn't do that to us. But admittedly, in that moment, my whole assured, oh, Jennifer wouldn't do that to us, was a little more like, Jennifer wouldn't do this to us, right? Right? Damon can't die. Damon is not gonna die. Right? And of course, Jennifer comes through for us and Damon doesn't die. Katy and Damon get their happily ever after, and it's very beautiful. Thank you, Jennifer, for not killing one of them. I think people would have really lost their shit if Damon did die. Another part that I really loved was how we got the Arum, the baddie aliens, although they're not really baddie aliens. Like, it's opposing alien forces. They view each other as the bad guys. I just really enjoyed that parallel between Hunter and Serena and Katy and Damon. Like the way the Luxon view the Arum and vice versa. Like, Damon looks at Hunter and Serena and thinks about how unnatural and weird their relationship is, and Hunter is doing the exact same thing to him and Katy. That Arum leader, though, he was a creepy mofo with all the onyx embedded in his skin, and he was just so twisted in his head. I'm glad he came around in the end and ended up helping Katy and Damon after making them go through all that emotional trauma. But I do still really feel like there's more story there, and maybe I need to read the Hunter novella to like find out. Jennifer could definitely write another book or even another series in this world. Maybe not from Damon and Katy's point of view because their story is kind of nicely wrapped up, but there's so much more we could still explore. The state of the Arum, and are they still living underground? The state of the Luxon, and what's left of the ones who stayed on Earth. The state of the government now that Nancy is out of a job, and what happened to all of the origins that Luke was hiding from her. It's such a cool world, and I'm definitely willing to read more about it if Jennifer L Armentrout ever decides to write another series there. Some of my other favorite scenes include the one where Hunter leaves Katy and Damon and Archer in his house to like run an errand for just an hour, and of course 2 minutes later Dee shows up and destroys the place. The part where Katy shot Ethan was also a little bit surprising, like not the fact that he died. We knew he had to die, he was like the big bad, but The fact that Katie just shot him like that and he was done and over so fast. I mean, Katie was kind of traumatized from her mom dying, which wasn't a huge surprise because, like, of course the aliens are gonna go after her mom. Like, she should have been with them or something as soon as the Luxon invaded. Like, you wanna go for Katie's weak spot, it's her only remaining family. The props to Katie's mom for lasting a whole lot longer than the average mother of a YA protagonist. Good job! You tried. Another kind of surprising thing was the amount of sex in this book. Like, I'm a little bit hesitant to call it young adult because all of the sexy times made it feel like it should be a new adult book. There was one point where Christine and I were actually reading this book at about the same time, and I asked her where she was in the book, and she said that Katie and Damon were probably about to have sex. And I was just thinking to myself, like, that tells me nothing! That could literally be any chapter! Anyways, I think that is just about everything I wanted to talk about in this video today. Please feel free to leave your thoughts in the comments down below. What was your favorite part? What was your favorite book in the series? What was your favorite line of dialogue? That's a good one. But yeah, that is gonna be it. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you have a great night, and I will have another vlog up soon, so I will see you then. Goodbye! So first things first, I'm still the realist. I'm still singing fancy. So I can talk about this final book in all of its Damon Blacky glory. Alien-y is a funny word. It's not a word. It should be a word. It should not be a word. Because now I'm going to discuss some spoilery details of Opposition, Book 5. That was so off. Oh god. Oh god. Oh god. This is probably a bad idea, balancing wise. I mean, it looks kind of cool. No, it actually doesn't.